You're a good dog. I'm telling you, a good border collie dog. Oh my God, come by and that sucker, right? Away to me, hold him up. He goes to the front and stops him, right? I don't know if you've ever seen a good border collie dog work, but it is amazing, right? Even a sorry one's pretty cool to watch, but a good one is awesome. They're headed away and you say down and they just, right? That's who I want to be for Jesus. I want to be, if Jesus says down, that I just slide, I'm stopping so hard. And if he says away to me, I'm running as hard as I can to do that thing. But the whole time, I love that thought of that border collie dog because they're running for everything they got. I don't know if y'all have seen them, but they're amazing, right? Like they're going and they're running as hard as they can to do what they were last told. And they can say, there. And that dog's like a statue. I want that to be me. I want Jesus to be able to send me. I need you to go to Quitman. I need you to go to Africa. I need you to go to Oklahoma. God, they need us. Thank you, Jesus. I want him to be able to send me somewhere and I'll be so in tune to him as on the way, as I'm going, as I'm in the day. Like, I know that God's called me to this spot. I know that he wants me to do this, that I'm going as hard as I can. And he says, stop, that I put on the brakes so fast that there's tracks behind me. I sit in a set of 11s and just stop and go. I stand it there, right? Like, just send me, right? Which way? That's it. And those dogs know that voice. We need to know that voice. Right? My dad was a dog trainer. My dad could make one do anything. And I can barely make one poop in the floor. I have no ability. My dad had a dog named Chip, and Chip was a border collie the dog was amazing. I want you to know that I could take that dog and I could do absolutely nothing with him. Nothing. Like I'd use all the same words that Dad used. I'd say all the exact things that my dad would say, and that dog would not do nothing I told him to do. Nothing. I'm not kidding you. Like, he was still good help because he probably knew more about penning cows than I did. Right? But he wouldn't do nothing I tell him to. It made me so mad because Dad could tell him to roll over while he is in the middle of the cow pens. And this dog, Dad could make him do anything. And I could tell him I'm telling you, I could use the exact same commands my dad would use. And that dog would just, if he had a finger, you know what I mean? Like he wouldn't even, he just kept doing, right? And man, it'd frustrate me. But you know why? It's because it wasn't his voice. He was so in tune that even the half, his son, I got the same DNA running in me. I got the same, if there ever was a reincarnation of my father, you can ask my peoples, I'm him. But that dog didn't recognize my voice because I was not his master. I was not his shepherd. I could talk, I could say it, I could do all the same things, but the dog wouldn't listen because the voice wasn't the same. Listen, the enemy is going to show up and he's going to say all of the same things. He's going to do all the same things that Jesus did, and he's done it since the beginning of time. You go back into Genesis, right? They come to Eve and he said almost everything that God said about the garden, but he changed one or two words. Because if he can put in just enough doubt that you begin to not hear his voice, but you begin to hear everything else, he can get you to take one extra step before you stopping down. He can get you to take one extra step before you turn. And that one step past obedience can be the step to death. Y'all listening? And God is so full of mercy and so full of grace, and he loves us so much that he'll let us just continue to step in the wrong direction and step in the wrong direction because he loves us that much. That's the reason many of us, we didn't get saved the first time we heard God talk to us. Some of you did, but a lot of you went, I don't know. Right? Some of you are in here this morning and God's been calling you. He's been talking to you and you're still going, I don't know. Problem is, most of us ain't border collies. It's the truth. Most of us are, at best, just sorry old cur dogs. And it takes a lot to get them to listen. I don't want to be that dog, right? I want to hear His voice, and I want to know that when He calls my name, that I'm so in tune that I'm listening. And we've got to, it's easy for me to preach this and never say this. Here's how we learn to hear His voice. We listen. We listen. When I hear something, I go, wow, that's good. Wow, is that God? Even if it's from that social media influencer. I don't know what that is, but I've heard that word. That's great. Wow, that was good. What's he say? I read this Bible. You know why He gave us the written word? Is so that we'll get to know Him. It is a picture from cover to cover. If y'all are wondering, it is a picture from cover to cover of Jesus Christ. And the more we begin to search the Word, and the more we begin to sit on our knees and pray, and the more that we begin to get around other Christian followers, the more we will begin to understand and to hear His voice.